editing room for 6 weeks, the three of us, and they just kept talking about the show and talking about the show and talking about the show. And I'm sure, as you guys all know, when people talk something up that much, nine times out of 10, you're horribly disappointed when you actually get a hold of the piece of material. So when finally this piece of material came to me on my computer, I read it because I'm so tired of hearing about it. But it's so over-delivered from the hype that I'd been hearing about. It was genius on the page, and I'm sure, as you guys saw in the pilot episode, the characters are all well formed and well thought out, and it's just a beautifully crafted show, and especially the relationships of the family, between the father and the son and the sister, because at the heart of every great television show there has to be a familial unit, and whether that familial unit is the Keatons from Family Ties, or it's the Bunkers from All in the Family, or it's the Fitzes, there has to be some sort of familial unit there, and this familial unit that is at the center of this show, as beautifully dysfunctional as they are, those interrelationships just is really what attracted me to the show. Besides the fact that Richard is such a beautifully flawed and charismatic and wonderful character. And he just, I look at him as, he's all of us, because he's trying to get, he's just trying to do the best he can. It's not his fault that he has this incredibly limited toolbox at his disposal, But then, once you meet his father and his mother, you understand why he has such limited tools. He's been on his own since he was 5 years old, and this is where he kind of got arrested. That's where his decision-making skills got arrested. Thank God he's so devastatingly handsome. And he's gotten as far as he has. Everything that they had, and so it really became like this defining character thing for Fitz, that he race cars and stuff on his underwear, and he's in them all the time. So I've been on a big diet ever since the end of season 1, going back to season 2, because I just can't look like that anymore.
And you have a lifetime supply of skin stuff.
Yeah, I probably will now.
Yeah, he does, man. I mean, it's been actually great as a producer working with these guys. Their relationship is phenomenal. And I think what we got really lucky overall, because our cast was just fantastic. I mean, Ernie Grunwald was just, he's legendary, obviously, and just an amazing actor, so gracious, and there was so much love on the set.
Life on Mars, that's what it reminded me of. I'd just like to know from Jason, I saw your producer credit come up there. Interested to know, what you brought to the table as a producer, and watching it there, what was going through your head as you watched it?
What was going through my head as I watched it?
Were you looking at it from like a producer?
Oh yeah, very much so. There were. I saw me lean over and talk to Sheri a few times during, because I actually hadn't seen this cut yet, because there have been a few very slight changes since the last cut that I saw. We were actually talking about those few changes that were in there. My producerial responsibilities on the show are entirely minimal. Basically, it comes down to I direct 2 out of every 13 episodes, and basically it comes down to this: if Sheri's not on the set and Mike and Taza aren't around, if something's going wrong on the set or something's not happening the way it should be, I make it right. That's the way it works. But as a director and as someone who produces a lot of stuff as well, I'm very cognizant of and as the star of the show, I'm there to really just to help facilitate things. I would never get in the way of another director. I would never go over to the director and say, hey man, you don't want to shoot this way, you should shoot it that way. I have incredible respect for all of my fellow artists on the set, and I'm merely there always to help them, and that is my goal always as a producer and as a director. You know, I'm there to facilitate my vision and to help all of the other artists on the set. So you know, I'm merely I'm really like a nuts and bolts kind of producer, and I leave the creative to Sheri, and that's how we run it.
Yeah, no, Jason really was. He's an absolute ambassador on set. Like, I think what Jason brought was just years and years of experience being on television shows, and he's just such a gentleman, such a professional that he set the bar so high, and everyone else fell right in line. So, yeah, that's good.
I'm just old.
Jason preached about Jason.
So old. I've been doing this for so long.
I just have a question of music. It's so wonderful. What a great nostalgic flavor. Now, it's not really Michael Bublé.
No, it's not. Matt Dusk sang a lot of the songs that we re-recorded with an actual big band. It was a huge part of the creative sense for me from this project. I mean, Fitz sees himself part of the kind of tarnished Rat Pack era, and you know, it's of a piece, and it's definitely the most music I've ever put in any show. I really think it works, and it gives it a real big sweep.
I think and that became a whole thing with Sheri and I too, where I'd pull her into my trailer and lunch and I'd say, what about this song? What about this song? You know, we started going back to really old, obscure, Sammy Davis Jr. albums and stuff.
And then we find out that we couldn't afford it.
Oh, no, we can't afford it. And
sorry, guys.
I tried to pull out, Frank Sinatra recorded a song called Ring a Ding Ding, which is a great song.
Oh, we really wanted that.
Not many people know, and we tried to get that, and no, that's going to cost $500,000 to play it once. It was like, well, I guess we can't use that.
And we are composers. I mean, a lot of the stuff. Some are re-recorded, but a lot of stuff is original music. Our composers are heavy-duty jazz dudes who just absolutely knocked it out of the park, and they brought some of the best session players in North America to work on our little show. It's kind of humbling. Yeah. Week 3 of the writer's room, so
Are you
we gotta get back to that.
Yeah. You must be super excited going into the second season, knowing,
I'm getting. I mean, my God, it's amazing what we're doing today. I still feel a little bit like I'm cheating on season 1. So, but we've got some great stuff. We've got some great stuff planned.